Today I'll be trying an experiment. I've been eating keto lately, so I found a recipe for some flax muffins. These muffins are very low in carbs and high in fibre, so hopefully they will be a nice addition to my repertoire of foods that I can eat while I'm on keto. So I'm going to get right down to it. There are a lot of ingredients in these muffins, and I normally try to cook with a minimum of ingredients, so I hope you'll bear with me as I measure these out. I have them all out on the countertop, and the actual instructions are very simple. We stir all the dry ingredients together in a large mixing bowl and then add the remaining ingredients and stir it until incorporated. So what I'm going to do is measure all of my dry ingredients into one bowl, then my wet ingredients into another, and mix them together. So let's get started. As I said, I'm going to start by mixing all of the dry ingredients into a bowl first. So first, I'm going to add the flax seed. I'll be using 1 1/4 cup of ground golden flaxseed. And this essentially says on the front, milled flaxseed, so I hope that's the right thing. I bought this especially to try this recipe. So, 1 1/4 cup. I'm going to make a mess, but of course you know by now I always make a mess. So there's 1 and a 1/4. So flax seeds aside, 1 tablespoon of coconut flour, this will be in the way, so I'll set it back over here. 1/2 teaspoon of gluten-free baking soda. I have to look twice at my spoons so I don't mix up the tablespoons and the teaspoons when I'm working on this. So that is, and what did I do? I almost put in the half tablespoon instead of the 1/2 teaspoon. Here we go, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Now 3 tablespoons of a low calorie or no calorie sweetener. This is stevia that I'm using here. I don't cook with a lot of artificial sweeteners because I generally prefer no sweetener to an artificial, but I guess we've got to try these things sometime, don't we? So 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. our spices. So we have some weird different measurements here. We have 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So that is, let me get these tablespoon ones out of the way. It's just be easier to take them off. I'll be able to see them better if I take them off the ring. Okay. Teaspoon, teaspoon, teaspoon. Okay. So the ground cinnamon. 3/4 of a teaspoon. So there we have a half and a quarter. Get our 3/4. Then we have 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. And 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, ground nutmeg. And I imagine you could use different spices here. If you wanted to make it easier, you could probably use a mix, like a pumpkin pie spice mix, and then just have one ingredient instead of 3. Then it says 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. Well, the only pink Himalayan salt I have is unground, and I'm not going to mess with trying to grind the salt, so I'm going to go ahead and use just regular sea salt for this. So I need a quarter teaspoon. There we go, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. And that's our dry ingredient. So I'll mix that up. Grab a spoon from my drawer. I'll mix those together. And then I'll set them aside while I mix the wet ingredients together. And of course I have flax and all sorts of things on my counter here, so I'll get these out of the way. And the wet ingredients. 4 eggs. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Little bit of music there, playing music on my metal bowl. Okay, so now we have 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. Half a cup of fresh or canned pureed pumpkin, which I have to open my can because I haven't done that yet. So pretend there's some nice music playing in the background. And we open my can of pumpkin. Then I'll have to find something to do with the rest of the pumpkin. maybe add it to some soup. Oh, pumpkin soup. Well, no, my pumpkin soup isn't keto, is it? Well, I'll find something. Okay, so how much to say? Half a cup. Okay, so here's the half cup. If you hear that noise in the background, that's my husband out in the car. I don't know what he's doing, but he's making noise. So, pumpkin. Quarter cup of heavy whipping cream. Quarter cup. Heavy whipping cream. Now, of course, if you know me, you know that's unusual for me to follow the directions this precisely. But when I've never made something, I usually do follow the instructions the first time around. Next time I make them, it'll probably be totally different. So, a teaspoon of lemon juice. I say there's a lot of ingredients in this thing, isn't there? Actually, it's over here. Teaspoon of lemon juice. Then it says a quarter cup of chopped pecans. Well, that's a dry ingredient, isn't it? So what I shall do is mix this up, mix these wet ingredients up. Then I'll add my pecans to my dry bowl and mix everything in together. So let's just get these mixed in together nicely here. A kind of a gooey mess here. I'll throw my quarter cup of pecans. Which are not open. Let me get a pair of scissors here. Get these open. Quarter cup of chopped pecan. That doesn't look like a lot. Maybe I can crush them down a little bit so that there's more pecans in the muffins. Just crush them up a little bit more with my fingers here. That's better. That way we'll get a nice distribution of pecans through the muffins. There we go. Now add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients and mix. Stir until completely incorporated. That sounds fancy, doesn't it? Go ahead and plop that in there. Make some more music on my bowl. Okay, there we go. And mix that all together. Actually, it looks pretty good. I'm surprised. Any other special instructions I need to know before? Nope. Okay, you can do this with mini muffins or regular size muffins. I have a tray of regular size muffin prepared, ready to put this in. Grab that. Move move some of my mess out of the way. I'm done with this stuff now, so make some room. Put some things away. In my cupboard. Set that back until I'm ready to. That'll do for now. Gives me a little bit more room here. There we go. I'll grab a spoon. Grab a nice big spoon for filling the muffin pans. So I'm going to make 12 regular sized muffins. My wooden spoon's not going to work too well for this. So it's a bit lumpy. So quite sure what to make of that. It kind of looks pretty, I'm not sure how that looks. A little bit of like a cross between oatmeal and mud and something cinnamony. So hopefully these will taste good. You know, if it tastes good, I'll let you know. If it doesn't taste good, you'll find out when I do. So far this has been a very easy recipe. It's just lots of ingredients in it. I hope it tastes good because I'd hate to do this and then find that I've wasted a lot of good quality ingredients on something that I can't eat. But of course, unless it's really bad, I'll eat it anyhow because I'm not going to waste good food. Even if it doesn't taste good, I wouldn't want to waste it. Okay, so there we go. I think that is about it. Okay, so now an optional step is to sprinkle a few more pecans onto the top of the muffin. So I'll put a couple of these pieces are big, so even just one big piece of pecan on each muffin will be nice, wouldn't it? A couple of smaller ones I'll put 2 or 3. there we go, ready to go in the oven. These muffins will be baked at 325. They would go in the oven at 325 for 15 to 18 minutes. So I'll pop them in the oven and be right back in about 22 minutes. See you again shortly. Well, my timer has beeped, so I'll check the muffins to see if they're done. They look good. Yes, I think they're done, so we'll get them out here. Move this so that you can see them a little better. There, don't they look good? I'll let those rest now for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'll do a taste test and let you know how they are. Let's see if they taste as good as they look. Welcome back. It's time for the taste test. So I'll grab one of these muffins. Open it up. Put a little butter on it. Whoops. And we'll see how it tastes. I'm trying to think what it tastes like. I can very definitely taste the pumpkin. But it's actually not bad. It's crunchy. It's pumpkin-y. And it's a pretty good alternative to have instead of the usual eggs and things like that that you would have on a keto breakfast. So it certainly is something that I'll try again. They haven't risen a lot, so I don't know whether that's something that I did wrong or it's the nature of the beast. So I will try to, I definitely try this again. So if you're interested in this, a serving size of these is 1.5 muffin or 3 mini muffins. It has 8 grams of carbs or 4 net carbs if you're counting the fibre in there to get net carbs. 23 grams of fat and 8 grams of protein. And I have a calorie count as well of 253 calories a serving. So that's a good alternative. It is definitely something I'll try again. I might change it up a little bit, but I'm not really keen on the pumpkin flavour to this. So I might try it with something different next time. So try it. You might like it more than I do, but it is something that I'll try again and just see if I can change it up a little bit. So enjoy. Try something different in the kitchen now and then, and have a great day. Bye.